Kevin enters. At first, he moves quickly towards Lucy's front door, but then he suddenly stops, as if an emergency brake has been yanked in his brain.
Oh boy. There's her front door. Get it together, man. You already know she likes you. Why are you so damn nervous? Actually, I knew exactly why I was nervous. It was because Lucy had 3 kids. And no, I don't mean I hate kids. I was worried about them hating me. Oh, and now that I say that, I just want to also mention, for those of you who are getting on your moral high horses out there because Lucy's having a guy she just met come over to be around her kids, let me tell you something. I wasn't going to be around her kids. We set it up so I'd go over there after bedtime. Of course, I could have still run into them, like if they got up to go to the bathroom or something, but that was a risk. It was a chance I had to take.
Kevin takes the last few steps towards his destiny.
Here goes nothing.
It's open.
Kevin opens the door and steps inside. He closes the door and remains facing it, as if he's afraid to turn around.
Hello, Kevin.
He turns, and now we finally see Lucy sitting on her couch. She looks at him smiling. Kevin walks towards her. She stands up and meets him halfway. She's neither skinny or obese. The best word to describe her is curvy. There is something undeniably adorable about her. We don't know what it is yet, but the look on Kevin's face lets us know one thing. The moment he laid eyes on her in person, it was all over for him. He was absolutely, positively, 100% smitten.
Hi, Lucy. This is for you.
How sweet. Thank you so much. Let me go put it in some water. Take a seat and get comfortable. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Kevin sits down while she goes off screen. Before long, she returns and joins him on the couch.
This is a nice apartment you got here.
Thanks. Thank you for being open to coming over. I know it's an unusual way to have a first date. Some guys think being here means they'll get lucky. When they hear my kids will be home, they cancel, and then I never hear from them again. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't trade my life or my kids for anything, but this setup does make it hard to meet new people.
How long has it been this way?
Ever since I left their father, and that was when my daughter Raylan was only a year old, and she'll be 7 next month. So it's been about 6 years since I could go out on a date or even have an adult night out with friends.
Really? Doesn't he ever spend time? No. I'm sorry. That's not my business.
It's okay. I know anyone who wants to date me will want to understand the dynamic, so to answer your question, he takes them for only a few hours on Saturday afternoons, and it's up to me to drop them off and pick them up. People think I'm a sucker for doing that, but it's either I do all the running around or they don't see him. If people knew how they lit up when they go over to his house, they'd understand.
Based on just the way you said that, I can understand without seeing that. Still, it boggles my mind. He doesn't take his own kids overnight. He never takes them overnight, ever?
Not once since we split up.
Damn. Don't you have anyone else who could watch them?
Maybe someone would, but I've never bothered asking. Mainly because of Polly. He can be quite a handful. He's 10. Raylan will be 7 next month, and Cole is 12.
Okay, I'm glad you said the other names. I'll be honest, I forgot them, but that's only because you didn't talk about them as much as you did about Polly.
Yeah, well, that's because Polly has the most stories.
Right. Yeah, I remember you said he's got behavioral issues, but no one will diagnose him with anything specific yet?
Right, because they don't want to label a young kid with something heavy, which I think is bullshit. If they don't diagnose him, they can't prescribe anything, which means something is going on, but they can't give him anything to help. Meanwhile, they're not the ones whose lives are turned upside down. Anyway, he is a handful on his own, but then there are the other two. I mean, it would just be a lot to ask of someone, even if it was only for a few hours on a Friday evening.
Yeah. Oh, what about family members? Didn't you have any relatives who wouldn't mind taking them off your hands for a night?
My mom and dad live nearby, but mom's health isn't good, and dad has no patience for Polly. So I'm willing to bet I won't have an adult night out until they're old enough to be home alone, and by then I won't even want to go out.
I can't even imagine how frustrating that is. I mean, sure, you get to be an adult at work, but that's not the same as going out to a club with your friends or something. I don't know. So, what are they like anyway? The kids, not your friends.
Well, aside from the behavioral stuff, Polly is a typical kid. He loves video games and so on. Raylan is just starting to develop interest in anything other than coloring books. And as for Cole, he's my reader. He will read and devour anything related to science fiction.
Science fiction? Really? Huh. Let me ask you something. Did he ever see the movie The Matrix? And did he like it?
Yes to both of those.
Sweet. Then he might like the book that inspired that movie.
I didn't know it was based on a book.
No, not not based on, inspired by.
What's the difference?
I'm so glad you asked. I'll explain. Well, The Matrix is part of a subgenre of science fiction called cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
And the first book to make that subgenre really popular was called Neuromancer. It's about this computer hacker named Chase who gets hired to break into some highly guarded computer network.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's in there, he meets an artificial intelligence that calls itself Wintermute. And Wintermute says it wants Chase to help it. Even I get confused, and I love the genre. Help it unite with another artificial intelligence. Can you guess what that one's name is?
I'm not even sure I know what you're talking about, so no, I can't guess the other artificial intelligence's name.
Neuromancer.
Oh, the name of the book.
Precisely. Anyway, it's got a lot of terminology that he would recognize from The Matrix, so I think he'd like it.
Okay. I couldn't make heads or tails of what you just said, so he'd probably love it. I'll keep it in mind.
Hey, when's his birthday?
In 3 months. Why?
Tell you what. If I've met him by then, and everything's going great, or well at least, I'll get it as my first birthday present for him.
I'll hold you to that. Can we watch the movie now?
Jack Nicholson awaits.